My family mocked my art paintings, but they didn't know what I'd reveal at the gallery. Ever since I was a child, colors spoke to me in ways people never could. While my siblings played sports or watched cartoons, I'd sit in the corner with a box of second-hand crayons, lost in my own world of shapes and shades. But no one ever took it seriously, not my teachers, not my friends, and certainly not my family. "You're wasting your time, Jamie," my older brother Ryan scoffed when he saw me sketching instead of watching football with him. "No one gets rich drawing trees and sad faces." Mom would just sigh. "It's nice as a hobby, sweetheart, but you need something real, like nursing or teaching. Art won't pay the bills." Even my father, a quiet man who rarely criticized, once muttered under his breath, "Maybe he'll grow out of it." But I didn't. If anything, I grew into it. By the time I turned 24, I had turned the attic of our small Ohio home into a makeshift studio. No insulation, a single lamp, and paint-stained floorboards, but it was mine. I worked odd jobs during the day, barista, janitor, delivery driver, just enough to pay for brushes, canvases, and cheap acrylics. Every night, I painted like my soul depended on it. My family never asked to see my work. They laughed when I mentioned my dream of hosting a gallery show one day. "You? A gallery?" Ryan barked out. "Who's going to come?" "Mom and Dad." Laughter. Always laughter. But never love. Then, one evening, I got an email from a small independent gallery in Cincinnati. I had submitted my portfolio months earlier and forgotten about it. The curator, an elderly woman named Eleanor, wrote, "There is honesty in your pain. We'd be honored to showcase your pieces in our community night next month. Let's give your voice a canvas." I stared at the screen, trembling. I read it 10 times before I believed it. When I told my family at dinner, Mom blinked blankly. "Well, that's nice, honey." Ryan chuckled. "So people will come to look at pictures of rain? Or your weird trees with no leaves?" I smiled. Not because they supported me, because their doubt no longer had the power to stop me. For weeks, I worked harder than I ever had. I poured every emotion into my paintings, my loneliness, my quiet hope, the ache of never feeling enough. One piece, titled "Invisible Child," showed a faceless boy reaching for a door no one had opened. Another, "Noise," was a chaotic storm of brushstrokes, a reflection of all the times I felt drowned out by other people's opinions. Opening night came. I didn't expect my family to show up, and they didn't disappoint. I took the early bus to Cincinnati with my paintings carefully wrapped in blankets. The gallery was small but cozy, with soft lights and the warm scent of coffee in the air. Eleanor met me at the door with a gentle smile. "You ready to share your soul, Jamie?" "I've been ready my whole life." The room slowly filled with guests. Strangers mostly. Some local artists, some curious couples, even a few elderly folks who probably just needed a warm place to sit for the evening. I stood nervously in the corner, hands stuffed in my pockets, watching people pause in front of my work. Then, something unexpected happened. A woman in a wheelchair rolled up to "Invisible Child" and began to cry. Her husband gently placed a hand on her shoulder. "That's exactly how I felt growing up," she whispered. Like I was knocking and no one ever heard me. Another man stared at "Noise" for a long time, his eyes distant. "That's what depression looks like in my head," he said to his partner. I couldn't breathe. People saw me. They saw my pain, and they felt it too. I wasn't invisible anymore. Near the end of the night, just before the gallery lights dimmed, I heard a familiar voice. "Jamie?" I turned. There, standing awkwardly by the door, was my mom. Behind her, Ryan. And my dad, holding his cap in his hands. "I told them we shouldn't come," Ryan mumbled, "but..." Mom insisted. I felt a knot tighten in my chest. "What are you doing here?" Mom stepped forward, eyes glassy. Eleanor called me last week. She said your paintings might help me understand you. I thought she was just being nice, but, Jamie, we saw your work. You looked at them. All of them, Dad said softly. That one with the broken clock, still waiting, you called it. That hit me hard. I never knew you felt that way about us. Ryan walked slowly up to Noise. I used to think art was just pretty pictures. But this? This looks like what it feels like when I'm pretending everything's okay. He turned to me. I'm sorry for making fun of you. I didn't get it. I didn't get you. I couldn't speak. Tears welled up in my eyes. For years, I had painted in silence, hoping someone, anyone, would see me. And now, the people I thought never would, finally did. Eleanor came over, smiling. Sometimes, art doesn't just reflect life. It changes it. That night, I sold 4 paintings. Not for much, but enough to cover next month's rent. More importantly, I walked away with something money couldn't buy: understanding, reconciliation, and the quiet magic of being seen. The next morning, over pancakes and coffee, Mom asked, Jamie, would you ever paint something for the living room? I laughed. Only if you promise not to laugh at my sad trees. No promises, she said, smirking. But I might just cry instead. Today, my attic studio is still my haven, but now, it's warmer. My family visits. Sometimes they bring their friends and show off my work like proud agents. Ryan even hung a print of Noise in his office. He says it helps his co-workers open up during therapy sessions. Life hasn't magically transformed. I still work odd jobs, I still doubt myself some days. But now, when I pick up a brush, I do it knowing that my voice matters, and that kindness, even delayed, can bloom into something beautiful. Because sometimes, what people mock is just what they don't understand yet. And when you finally find the courage to share your truth, the world, even your own family, might just surprise you with its capacity to listen, to change, and to love.